Hey guys, this is Andreas from Nothing But Tablets, and this right here is Taposé, which is an app that I've been talking about now and for about a year. It started out as a Kickstarter project, it got funded, has been in development for 6 months or so, until they submitted it for review on December the 5th, because all iPad apps have to be reviewed by Apple. And Apple has been dragging its feet ever since, coming up with all these stupid excuses that you can read more about in one of my older articles. And the team that created this app has been trying to be patient and sort of try to make changes that make the app more according to the rules in Apple size, and finally yesterday it was finally approved, and now it's been released. So just a week shy of 4 months for the review process, which I think should give anyone who ever thought of creating an iPad app or iOS app at all just think twice and then another time or two before you actually commit to the iPad or iOS platform, because I know that it's the biggest platform, but if you're going to have to fight for 4 months for the app to be even released, I mean seriously, at some point the ridiculousness of Apple's idiotic way of doing business is simply going to be too much. But enough about that. I don't have words to describe how stupid it is anyways. As for what Taposé is, it's basically the software version of a hardware concept that Microsoft released before the iPad 1 came out, called the Microsoft Courier. It was a dual-screen tablet device that looked sort of like a notebook, and the way that it used the two screens to sort of act like different pages in a notebook, and there were all these sort of interactions between them, was very unique both then and actually is even now. But Microsoft never released the project. It was a concept and they just never brought it to market, and that's what Taposé is trying to do something about by bringing it to the iPad as software. So instead of just trying to sit there and talk in front of my static screen, let me just show you what it can do. So let's go ahead and create a new journal. This is going to be laggy, perhaps crash, because it's a fairly resource intensive app to begin with, and me running high quality video recording on the same device at the same time isn't going to help anything. But just remember that you're not going to be recording your screen and using system resources when you're using this. So I created a journal called Nothing But Tablets. Opening up, let me look at the paper types. Let me set some different paper types here for different pages. And you might see this and think that, okay, this is a note-taking app, it has 2 different pages and it has different paper types. Is that all that Taposé is about? Actually, this is not the dual screen system that Taposé uses. This is only 2 pages in one journal. The true magic of Taposé is shown when you grab this little button in the bottom left corner and sort of resize the screen, which then brings up this, which is now a browser window on the left side. And now you have the true split screen setup of a Taposé. So I can go ahead and do some text input over here. Very difficult to see with the sort of touch indicator from the screen recording app in the way. And of course now you actually have less than half of a 9.7 inch tablet in order to use a capacitive stylus on, or your finger, so you can pinch the zoom, which is sort of like the magnification mode I've been talking about in apps like GoodNotes, although to be honest, this one is much more limited, but it does allow you to sort of write big letters on the screen, pinch it to get it smaller, and have something that actually looks like it's been written by hand and not with permanent marker. Also, you have basically your standard set of note-taking app tools like a highlighter, different colors, text input. I mean, you know all of this already. This is something you have to have in Taposé in order to have it be usable at all, but this isn't news. What is, however, news is the way that you can use these two screens. So, for instance, if I go over to nothing but Tablets.com. So since this is a nothing but tablets journal, let's say that I'm looking at possible design changes that we might do to the site. So I'm going to select this scissor symbol right here, and I'm going to just with my finger mark part of the screen, and then it put itself like as this small thumbnail here on the sort of the spine of the app, if you can call it that. Let me drag this over and just going to resize it over my ugly writing, if that's even possible. Well, there's probably some way of selecting what's front or not, but so I'm going to just erase this, and I'm going to use a red marker to say that this categories thing right here has to go because well, for some reason. And then let's say that I need something in another journal, so I'm going to switch pages, and I'm going to drag this one up right here. I'm going to go to journals, and I only have the tutorial journal to choose from, but let's say that I really like the Taposé logo, and I'm thinking of using something along the same lines for our new logo. So I'm going to cut that out of another journal I already have and do the same thing right here. And then I'm done working with that, so I'm going to do some simple calculations to see if this is even going to be worth it in terms of cost. So just a whole lot of numbers. Well, you all know how a calculator works, so instead let's see if we need a map. So this is where I live. You can come and stalk me if you want. So let's say that this guy stole your logo or something like that. There's also contacts, which is probably, yeah, I'm not going to open any one of those up to display phone numbers and stuff like that, but you get the point. Let's just go back to the web, and yeah, so let's just say that I'm done pasting stuff from other places, so I'm going to go into this button instead, and if I click the take photo, video, or anything like that, there's a small chance, actually big chance, that the screen recording app will stop working, simply because it can't use the camera and stuff like that at the same time. So let me instead insert a photo of my bloody dog, because we're thinking of making him CEO of Nothing But Tablets. Probably an upgrade from having me there. So yeah, but I mean, the dog is a bit too serious, too happy looking to be an executive, so it's going to make him a bit more angry. I'm just joking around, of course, but you do get the point of what Taposé is all about. Basically, you have all this control over what you're inserting. As you probably saw here, you have record audio, you can insert a video and all that sort of thing right into the notebook, and be able to work between notebooks, and especially from the web. I mean, once you have access to the web, you basically have access to everything from your Dropbox to your email to everything like that. And you can mix and match and create these wonderful journals. And then at the end you can go back and you can, that's not the button I was looking for. You can, there's this collaboration feature which I'm not able to show off right here, but basically you can collaborate on a journal. You can also export to email, print it wirelessly, export to Dropbox and Evernote. So as far as the note-taking app goes, this is the Microsoft Courier version of all of that. The potentials are just epic in terms of what you can do with all of this. And I think it's just this whole dual screen look that's very useful. And just in terms of potential uses, imagine this left side right here being like notes from a meeting or a PDF document you downloaded off the web that you're using. You're a school student doing math and you found the task online, and you're having that up in the left side, and you're doing the actual task in the right side, and once you're done you just email it to your teacher or do whatever you want with it. I mean, the potential is just awesome with this app, and that's also why I pledged it in the first place, because I think this was a good idea. And just having to have seen the app go through so much struggle in the last 4 months has just pushed me over the edge as far as Apple goes. At this point I simply don't want any more Apple products, and a big part of that is the way that they treated this app, because I mean, I hope I'm not alone in thinking that this is an app that is just revolutionary in terms of how you can use the iPad, and to see that app be sabotaged by Apple for 4 months is let's not get into this discussion. This is Taposé. It's available now in the App Store, at least it's now for me, but it's 1:30 in the morning here, so I think it actually was released at midnight. So depending on which day it is for you, it might not be out yet. Here it's a Wednesday, so but check the App Store. It's $3, which is really cheap. I think I pledged $10 when I first did it. I didn't even bother waiting for my free copy of the app because I just wanted it right away. And as far as the price goes, it makes it really easy to recommend it, but I do hope they didn't price it too low in terms of what it actually offers, because I think that this is one of the apps that's going to make the iPad just so much more useful. In terms of other platforms, I know that they've been thinking about doing Android and Windows 8. On Windows 8 you of course have to, at least the Intel version of Windows 8, you have to not Intel, I don't even remember what the CPU or the architecture is called right now, but the one that's not ARM. You have to compete with the full version of I can't even remember what Microsoft's own note-taking app is called, but something Note. On Android, they actually said that they thought it would be 4 to 5 times more expensive to develop for it. But I mean, you can vote with your money. Just tell them that you support them, and perhaps we'll see this on Android as well, because I actually think that, especially on something like the Tegra 3 with the performance issues that this is it's as seen on a device that it's made especially for. I think you need something like the Tegra 3 to be able to take full advantage of it. And of course on Android you have a widescreen display to play with as well, and I think that's actually going to be a good thing for this app in particular, because you're actually splitting the screen in two. So that's just a little insight into what I know as far as future plans, and of course they will be releasing updates. So just run off to the App Store and get the app right now, because I know this is my personal opinion, but this is one of the bigger app releases this year, or since the iPad came out. So thank you for watching, and this has been Taposé. I'm Andreas from Nothing But Tablets, and I'll see you later.